Hey everyone, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome to my Phoenix Reborn endgame guide for Jean Grey for Marvel Heroes Omega for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now in this build guide video we will look at the skills and talents we use for this setup. We'll check out the optimal synergies. We'll then look at the first 100 infinity points and where we would place those. We follow that up by having a look at the general gearing priority, and at the end of the video we have some gameplay to show off the build and the rotation as well. Now as always, if you want to jump to any section, check out the description, there will be timestamps there. Otherwise we'll start off by looking at the skills. For the skill setup here we will be in the Phoenix form, and this build really is all about being very tanky through our life and hit and damage mitigation, as well as actually laying down a whole lot of dots as well. Now the first skill we have is Phoenix Strain. We've got this set up through talent so it doesn't cost any spirit. If you don't have it set up this way you'll really struggle spirit wise, so that's why I've chosen that particular setup. But it works as almost as a dot. It hits twice per second, gains increased damage based on attack speed, and you gain a whopping 1400 health per second while you're channeling it, which is really pretty incredible. Now the next skill, and the first of our dots, is Flaming Maelstrom. I've got this on the main set of buttons because you can actually lay up to 2 areas and then they'll cool down, so this can be good for taking out random trash. You've got the dot portion and you've also got the slow. You'd follow this up with Telekinetic Slam. This gains a damage bonus based on the amount of energy you have, so bear that in mind when it comes to stacking one of your two primary attributes that you want to go for the energy one. It will also knock up the enemy, and it has a 6-second cooldown. The next skill is Neural Network. This works as a dot on an individual enemy, 8-second duration. If you defeat that enemy you get an explosion on it as well. Then we have Mind Crush. This is just a flat damage skill, does have a 100% critical hit chance, and the cooldown is 6 seconds. With the cooldown and the duration of the dots you can run through the skills we've looked at so far every 6 seconds, nice and simple. Now we go on to the longer cooldowns but harder hitting skills. You have Debris Storm, so it's for a whopping amount twice per second and you gain damage resistance while channeling. The duration is 3.5 seconds with a cooldown of 15. And then we have our signature, which is Crushing Telekinesis. So the talent setup we've got, whenever we use Telekinetic Slam, it will actually lower the cooldown of Crushing Telekinesis by 2 seconds. So you'll generally find the way this setup is that you'll fire this off and then you'll follow up with Debris Storm and you'll have all your dots ticking away at the same time as well. But what we'll do next is we'll have a look at the talents. For the first talent we have Unleash the Phoenix. This allows you to enter the Phoenix form and it changes all your skills so that they've actually got the Phoenix set up on them. Now with this as well you gain 4% damage reduction, 350 health on hit, so we add that onto our main filler attack and that means we're getting 1750 health on hit, which is just crazy, and 10% firepower damage as well. We then have Friends of First Class, so this applies strengthen to yourself and allies when you're in combat. We don't make use of the telepathic illusion section of it, but the strengthen buff is a nice one. It gives you bonus damage and critical hit rating multiplier as well. The next talent is Circle of the Phoenix. So Phoenix Force decays while out of combat, but while Phoenix Force is full, which should be most of the time due to our filler and the fact that we're not spending it, you gain 10% damage, 25% spirit cost reduction and 50% base health. So we've got that huge life and hit, and we've got extra base health, and we've also got the damage reduction from earlier on as well. So really all does add up to make her pretty tanky. Now next talent is Phoenix Ascending. So this will transform certain skills so they don't cost any spirit and they actually generate spirit and Phoenix Force instead, and the one we're using would be Telepathic Drain. Final talent we look at here is Vertigo. So when you use Telekinetic Slam, the cooldown of Crushing Telekinesis, which is your signature, is reduced by 2 seconds, and this helps it line up with Debris Storm, so you can use one of them straight after the other to do a huge amount of burst damage there. But next up we'll have a look at the synergies. We start off then looking at the primary attributes, and that's intelligence and energy, so that's covered by Beast and also Gambit. The more generic synergies are Blade, Hawkeye, Hulk, She-Hulk and Squirrel Girl, and then finally the synergies that can work great on are Ghost Rider for the fire power damage and also Jean Grey for the range power damage, and because we have quite a few dots I like to use Scarlet Witch as well for the 10% dot damage there. But for the next section we'll have a look at the infinity point allocation, and this is where we would place the first 100 points. With the infinity point setup we have here, then we don't really have any issues around defence or our resource at all, so for that reason I put points into the time gem and temporal loot pool. I like the increased extra movement speed, but the attack speed also increases the damage of our main filler attack as well, so it does work out pretty great. But for the next section we'll have a look at the general gearing priority. As always then with this section, what I'll do is give a brief outline of how I would actually gear for this build, and then that means in future when newer items come out you can use the outline I give here to help you actually choose if you want to move around your gear and move in some potentially new best in slot items. Now on Jean you're wanting to stack the energy attribute. Due to that skill we have the telekinetic slam that gains a bonus from it, so I'll mention that first. When it comes to the legendary we have the Mandalay gem, which is perfect because all of our skills have the firepower tag, so it's 1200 damage rating, the firepower's 1500 critical hit rating, firepower's 10% attack speed which will buff our main filler. You're regenerating another 150 health on hit, so we had, what was it, 1750, so that's 1900. If you can get it on your core you're looking at regenerating in the region of 2300 health on hit per second, which is just crazy, so you can make it really tanky. You've also got the rank 5 prop which is pretty nice as well. When we look at the medallion you want to use either the Sorin one because that will give you flat damage to firepowers, or if you use the Pyro one this works out great because it gives you an extra 10% vulnerability from firepowers. For the relic you've got the Relic of Xandar because our powers have the range tag, nice and simple there. For the artifacts, don't normally cover them but there's a couple of exceptions I thought would be worthwhile pointing out here. You have Pyro's Flamethrower which is great honour due to the attack speed, fire rating and also the energy tag, and then we've got some low level artifacts I'll quickly show off. These can drop anywhere and they work great on a fire setup. It's Advanced Flames of the Full Time, and also this one's made for a really advanced Phoenix Feather as well there, so you can see they've got fire and energy on them, so that works out pretty nice. But with the gearing section covered we'll show off some gameplay, have a run through of the Striker Command Bunker. I figured it'd be fun to take down both Pyro and Magneto given that we're Jean. As always I'll mention this gameplay just to show off the actual rotation and the build. It's not to show on best in slot gear because I've not had a chance to gear it up yet, but if there's any questions as always feel free to ask. Thanks for tuning in and I'll see you all again soon.
Took you down. I still believe. That was a demonstration.
burn me out, mate.
I can't do that.
Stand aside. Witness my power! You have won this battle for the war.